You guys need to go choir. the bells, rock the snowflakes dancing, jingling, 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 old dogs and even prancing, jingling, 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 the night is made for sweet romancing. Ha ha, ho ho, through the snow we go. We go a-gliding, a land of charm. The sleigh is sliding in my arms. Jingling, 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 and we're happy because the sleigh bells seem to jingle.
In the woods of fairyland like wedding bells.
Jingling, 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 what fun to hear the sleigh bells jingle. Jingling, 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 there's a heart and tingle. Jingling, 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 I love to hear our laughter mingle. Ha ha, ho ho, where the wheels go. Jingling, 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 the bells about the snowflakes dancing. Jingling, 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 old dogs is even prancing. Jingling, 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 the night is made for sweet romancing. Ha ha, ho ho, through the snow we go. Jingling, 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 what fun to hear the sleigh bells jingle. Jingling, 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 this set your heart a tingle. Jingling, 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 I love to hear our laughter mingle. Ha ha, ho ho, ha ha, ho ho, through the snow we go. Jingling. And it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Let's all take a sleigh ride over hills and wide we glide, with good friends beside us as we fly away. Sharing laughs and telling stories, rushing past this winter glory, riding along on this happy holiday. Let's all take a sleigh ride over hills and wide we glide, with good friends beside us as we fly away. Sharing laughs and telling stories, rushing past this winter glory, this happy holiday.
Choir, can you hear me? I'm going to stand over there. I'm going to stand over there, so get your eyes for me over there.
get started in just a minute. Thank you. Good evening and welcome. I'd like to ask you to please rise for the presentation of the colors. Please remain standing and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Before I read the election results, I'd like to welcome a few honored guests here this evening. Supervisor Dave Pine, San Mateo County Board of Supervisors. Supervisor David Canepa. And Ben Cohn, representing the Assembly Member Kevin Mullen. The results of the November 7, 2017 municipal election in the city of San Bruno. Precincts 26, registration 21,810, ballots cast 5,263, percentage 24.1. City of San Bruno Mayor, Annette Zink, 646 votes. Rico E. Medina, 4,497 votes. City of San Bruno City Council, 2 to be elected. Laura Davis, 3,617. Marco DeRazzo, 2,098. And Michael Salazar, 3,011. Laura Davis and Michael Salazar will be elected, have been elected to the City Council. And now I'd like to call on Councilmember Ken Ibarra to preside over the oath of office for Michael Salazar and Laura Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Former Mayor. It is my honor and privilege to administer the oath of office to first Councilmember Laura Davis. Laura, come. Make it easier for the photographers. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Laura Davis,
I, Laura Davis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign or domestic,
foreign or domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Before you leave, I have the official certificate, election certificate, and plaque, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And now, Councilmember Michael Salazar. I, Michael Salazar,
I, Michael Salazar,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign or domestic,
foreign or domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Welcome back. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Rico. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Rico E. Medina,
I, Rico E. Medina,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign or domestic,
against all enemies, foreign or domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, now we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Deputy City Clerk, if you could take roll, please.
Councilmember Medina,
Here.
Councilmember Salazar,
Here.
Vice Mayor Davis,
Here.
Mayor Medina.
Here. Announcements. There will be no regular scheduled City Council meeting on December the 26th. Public comments on items not on the agenda. Anyone here this evening that wishes to speak on anything not on the agenda? If not, let's move forward.
Wait.
Jennifer, slow down.
Congratulations, Vice Mayor Laura Davis, and welcome back, Michael Salazar. I'm Jennifer Blanco, one of the 5 trustees for the San Bruno Park School District. I just wanted to come up and say that I'm looking forward to working closely with our new city council members, and I do believe I can speak on behalf of the board. I don't know if any other my colleagues are here tonight, but we're looking forward to working with you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Anybody else? Let's move on to conduct of business. First item, confirm appointment of vice mayor to serve as a 1-year term. As prescribed by the municipal code, our vice mayor for this next year will be council member and now vice mayor Laura Davis. Congratulations. Next, we will go ahead and receive comments from the newly elected mayor and council members. Vice Mayor Davis, if we begin with you, please.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for the special arrangements, Mr. Mayor Rico Medina. I want to first congratulate you, Rico. Honestly, we've known each other for a number of years, and you have led as a leader. You've led as an example. You are an outstanding citizen of San Bruno. You're someone who deeply cares about our community. You give everything. This role as mayor is suited perfectly for you. Rico and I graduated from Capuchino High School in 1983, and at that time we knew someday this day would be here, and here it is today. And I am profoundly proud of you. The community supports you, I support you, and I wish you much success. To Michael, congratulations on your successful campaign. You worked hard, you had your strength and determination and the confidence, and it certainly paid off, and I welcome you, and I look forward to working with you. To Mr. Councilmember Medina, it's been a pleasure to get to know you over the years, and I look forward as well as we move forward in these times. We've got a lot on our agenda, and I look forward to that challenge. To Jim Ruane, 22 years of service. I don't know how anybody can follow in your footsteps, but you definitely led by example. Your leadership and strong command presence is what certainly brought our city through difficult times. You radiate sincerity, and you have what it takes to make good things happen, and you've done that for San Bruno. You took us through a very difficult time, a very challenging time, and you stood there as a proud member of our council and our community, and I'm grateful that you were at the helm. To former Councilmember Ken Ibarra, 21 years with San Bruno. Again, tough shoes to fill. Your dedication to our community is apparent in all that you've done. I appreciated the work and the guidance you provided me, and I look forward to your continued contribution in San Bruno because I know you'll continue that. I know Carol's not here tonight, but I wanted to thank her as well. I remember the days 12 years ago campaigning with Rico, walking the streets in Rollingwood, and there's Carol out there campaigning for the city clerk position. But she supported me throughout my campaign. She was very dedicated and kept me on target, so I appreciate her guidance as well. John Marty is our city treasurer. I'm glad Jim picked up the phone and called you one day and said, John, come on out and you've got to apply for this position. You were definitely the right person for the job. You know, the city treasurer's position is an important one for our city, as it is really about the betterment of our community and about making sure that our funds are spent wisely and funded correctly. You definitely will be missed, your expertise, but I know that you're still a resident of San Bruno, and I know that you're someone I can really reach out to. So thank you to all those who have served San Bruno City Council as a community. I find it very fitting to be sitting here or standing here on the stage here tonight at Capuchino High School. As a graduate, this is really where I started my leadership skills, and it was such a pleasure to walk in tonight to see Mr. John DeVincenzi in the audience, or in the auditorium. He was my student leadership teacher here at Capuchino, and it was really about what you taught us, really about giving back to our community, about being a dedicated leader, about being true to myself, about giving everything, never saying no, figuring out what I want that goal to be, and going out to achieve it. So Devo, thank you for your guidance, your leadership during my years at Capuchino High School. As I said on my night of my campaign kickoff party, who sits in the city council really does matter. Voters should look for qualities that seek first to represent their city's needs while being mindful of the city needs. Someone who has the intelligence and the desire to work hard through governing. Someone who will ask polite but tough questions, but ensure taxpayers are getting their money's worth. That's the person I want to represent you as a city council member. I want to be sure that I do the best job possible. And I know I can achieve this through teamwork, through dedication, and through tough decisions. And most importantly, to set goals and to be able to try to achieve those. To my family and friends, thank you for your dedication and your support throughout my campaign. But as always, I have a good friend in the audience, Nancy Morty, and she's the one I pick up the phone and say, hey, Nancy, let's do this. Let's get on the Refrain for Life. Will you help me out? Let's raise some money. Let's do something for our community. And she's there by my side. But I have a number of friends that are here tonight, and I want to thank you deeply for your dedication. To my parents and my Auntie Grace, you were my constant guidance and support and unconditional love. I was raised by amazing and loving and supportive family that taught me to follow the rules, do the best that I can, and always show others that you care. Thank you to my campaign team manager, Jessica Martinucci, my treasurer, Chris Gonzalez, my sister Donna, and those dedicated friends that stood by me, walked those streets, and was there late nights making those phone calls, working together to make those. To my family, my husband Jim, my daughter Sarah, my son Ryan, thank you for your support throughout this process and allowing me to work toward my passion. But really the thanking is, thank you for the next 3 years as you miss me on Tuesday nights and the dedication that I have to this city, because I do care and I look forward to a better tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Salazar.
Good evening, San Bruno and guests. This is the first one of these events that we've had here at the Samuel Johnson Jr. Auditorium at Capuchino High School, and I can't imagine a nicer venue or a better event. I mean, this is truly amazing. So I want to offer my thanks to the Capuchino community for hosting us tonight, and especially to the Capuchino Music Department for making this night truly memorable. So thank you. Tonight, I'm feeling grateful and proud that I was able to share the stage and the spotlight one last time with two men that I consider friends and colleagues and mentors. So Jim and Ken, I want to thank you personally for everything you've done for this city and for the support that you've given me over the years. I know that we'll never forget your contributions, and I just hope that we can all live up to the high standards that you've set for us. Thank you. The journey to this place where I'm standing tonight was a long and rugged one, but it was a very pleasant journey, and that was due to the fact that I had some very good traveling companions, and so I do want to acknowledge a few people tonight, starting with my mom, who's sitting up here. If there's one person that's always supported me throughout my life, it's been my mom, and I just want to say thank you, Mom, for your inspiration and your support throughout the years. You inspired me to be the person I am today, and you really started me on the path that led to this, so thank you. And I also want to thank the other important woman in my life, my constant companion, my best friend, my wife, Sandra. For over 20 years, she's put up with me, and through good times and bad, she's been there to hold me up and help me with everything that we've accomplished. So she wasn't exactly thrilled about doing this, but she finally relented, and she became really my biggest supporter, and she was there for me 110% throughout this. So thank you, honey. I love you. And then next, I want to thank the committee, my campaign committee, starting with my campaign manager, Judy. Judy was the first person to step up and volunteer. She was my first volunteer, and she was there every step of the way. And running a campaign like this while you're working a full-time job and being a parent and a husband and a volunteer, it's not easy. But I knew that my committee would be there, making sure I was meeting every commitment and every deadline. And Judy did a fantastic job, and you've been an amazing friend, so thank you for being there for me. There were a number of other people that stepped up to help me, some longtime friends. I want to acknowledge a few people specifically, and I know I'm going to miss somebody, so I apologize ahead of time, but Tony, Robert, and Pam, Marianne, Wendy, Trish, Lori, Virginia, Mike, you guys really came out for me, and I really appreciate what you did. You put yourselves out there, and I'll never forget what you did for me. Thank you so much. There were a lot of people who gave financial contributions, and that's really what kept the machine going. And there's a lot of people. I'm not going to mention everyone, but I think you all know how much I truly appreciate that trust that you put in me and that support that you gave me. So thank you all so very much. And then there were the 3,011 voters. I may never know who you all are, but I want each one of you to know that I do appreciate your support and that I will continue to work every day to earn that trust that you've put in me. So now that it's been about a month since the election, I've had a little time to reflect. And having been on this council before, I don't expect any big surprises, but I do understand that there is a lot of work ahead of us. This campaign cycle allowed me to spend some quality time in our community. And after walking hundreds of miles and knocking on thousands of doors, I really feel like I know this community a little bit better. And one thing I did notice out there, I think a lot of us still agree that San Bruno is the best little town in San Mateo County. So we're all... But there are some issues that are going to need our attention. And sadly, some of these issues have been out there for a while. But I do believe that we are at a really good point right now to make a difference. And I think that if we harness our collective creativity and our will to make this happen, we're going to be able to tackle some of these issues. Our downtown has been suffering for a few years, so it won't be overnight, and there is no magic bullet that's going to fix it. But I think that we're really in a good position. There's a lot of positive energy out there, and I think we can turn a corner. There's a number of other issues that I heard about in the community, but as I mentioned, I believe that this team that you, the voters, have selected is the right team, and I know that we are going to be making the right decisions at the right time and for all the right reasons. So I, for one, can't wait to get started. I remain committed to a lot of the principles that we've talked about, and one thing that I feel very strongly about is making sure that everybody in the community feels included, and I will continue to be an advocate for those that feel that they don't have a voice and those that feel less than represented in our community. And I'll continue to be an advocate for our elderly residents, for our children and our working families, to make sure that when we move together, when we move forward, we all move forward together. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. But I feel that we can all face that future with a big smile on our faces because we are up to that challenge, and there is no reason to doubt that San Bruno's greatest days lay ahead. So let's go build that future together. Thank you.
It is now my privilege and honor to welcome to the podium Mayor Rico Medina.
Good evening. I again want to thank, as I did on the 28th, my colleagues and friends, Mayor Wayne, Vice Mayor Ibarra, also Carol Bonner and John Marty. I also want to acknowledge Mayor Larry Franzella this evening, former City Manager and Police Chief Frank Headley, and our City Manager, Connie Jackson, department heads. I want to offer my congratulations to Laura and Michael for their victory and election. I also want to acknowledge Annette and Marco for stepping forward to run for office. For doing that is not an easy thing. I want to thank my family, extended family, friends, and the campaign committee, some who have been with me since I first ran for office in 2005. This evening, I want to offer some thanks to our police officers and the Honor Guard and the police chief for their coordination and being here this evening. I want to thank the Parkside String Ensemble and their musical director, the Capuchino Choir, the Cap Band, and their musical director. I am glad we were able to show off the success of their music talent and the pride that Parkside and Cap brings to this community. I also want to take a moment to thank my employer, who has been extremely supportive in my serving on this council and running for mayor. When I met them over 5 years ago, I let them know that I was servicing the city of San Bruno in this capacity. And to my surprise, as a man trying to get employed, they said, "We believe in community. That's okay. If you need to go for an emergency or do your duty, please do it." So I appreciate that. Not many employers would do that. They've treated me as family, and I consider them that. I have been privileged to have served as your city council member for the past 12 years, and now I'm honored to be your elected mayor. Tonight, I stand before you as your 6th elected mayor for our city, which is obviously not the first, but there are some firsts. I am the first elected mayor that is a former San Bruno City employee. This allows me to realize and understand and appreciate the council and the job that they do, and that the council, as we are today, can set policy and budget all day long. But it is that staff that takes the action and makes it happen. And what our community and our council needs to realize that there are an amount of resources to implement the policies and priorities, and we need to use those resources in the most effective manner possibly. The last time I visited many of our departments was 2009, when the staff had stepped forward to take furloughs to balance the budget and ensure that no city employee was laid off. I went around to thank them, and tomorrow I will go back and thank them and visit the departments again, but this time as their mayor, and to show my thanks and appreciation for the job they do and the community that they serve. I'm also your mayor and the first graduate from Capuchino High School, and a proud alumni. The reason I wanted to come here and have an installation is not only the connection that Councilmember Salazar and Vice Mayor Davis have to CAP, but I was appointed when I was in the halls of Capuchino to the Citizens Crime Prevention Committee as a sophomore. And for the next 37 years, I have volunteered on various committee, commissions, and boards to today. This is where I was student body president, that I told the students that I would represent all of them equally, the over 1,500 that walked the halls at that time. And I am back here this evening, and I return as your mayor to give that same pledge and commitment to the over 43,000 plus residents, and that I will do the same. My friends, as we wake up tomorrow, everything will not be solved or resolved. There will be important decisions that need to be made and tough issues that we need to tackle. It will take all of us to sit, listen, and offer solutions, and during that process to respect each other's comments and points of views. We can hope that things will be different or better, but hope is not a plan, nor does it balance our city budget, or will it move this city forward. We must come together through communication, cooperation, and collaboration. I therefore am asking that the City Council early next year come together, and of course with community input, to share their ideas, set goals, and have a vision for 2018. We as a council need to set priorities. All 5 of us cannot go 10 different directions. We must come together, find our mission, plan our objectives, because if we do not, we will not move the city together. We must set our goals, find ways to measure our success, and find better efficiencies and improvements in our operations and our service to our residents. While we've had differences over the community issues or changes, and I have lived in San Bruno my entire life, and I have seen those changes over the years in our community, what never changes for me is the sense of community spirit, its pride, and the collective willingness to assist our fellow residents in a time of need. It is thanks to this school, this community, and all those that have touched my life through their mentoring, coaching, and yes, scolding. Because of this community, I stand here before you a stronger man and a better person, and prepared to serve as your mayor. My goal is to move this city forward, for us to leave it better than we find it today. We want you involved and engaged as we set our goals and objectives going forward. If you feel your voice does not matter or ideas are not worth sharing, I want you back at the table. I want you back and a part of the discussion that will move our city forward in a positive direction. One person can and does make a difference. Again, I want to thank the staff and the school district for all that they've done this evening. I want to thank you for this extreme honor. I offer you my continued commitment and dedication to the city that I am proud of and love, the city with a heart. Thank you.
Thank you.